talk about a game, UNLV going on, take Miami, Ohio, underdogs, 2.5 point underdogs. I was surprised. I was surprised that UNLV came in this game as an underdog, and in the first half, it was looking like it was going to be a blowout for the Redhawks. They go in halftime 24-10, Miami, Ohio up. UNLV suffered from a bunch of uh, mistakes early on, interception. Miami could do no wrong in the first half. Fast forward, third, fourth quarter, completely, complete disarray for the Red Hawks, and they get their last three possessions end in turnovers, and that seals their fate as UNLV kicks the game-winning field goal. 41-38 is your final score. UNLV would put up 17 points unanswered in the fourth quarter, and that would basically, seal Miami, Ohio's fate. Despite two picks by Calandra, he put up a great game, was trying to do everything to keep his team in it. They never gave up. Jaden Thomas had 118 yards, a touchdown on the day. Amaris Brown came up early with the pick six to keep UNLV still motivated before going into halftime. The story is UNLV pulling off another close win. A game that I had favored them in. I thought they were going to blow them out. It was close. They were down 14 points going into halftime. They clawed their way back, and they showed they're a resilient team. This is it's a dangerous team. No matter whether they're heavy underdogs or heavy favorites, they're going to stick in it, and you really have to beat them to the very end. That's when they're at their best. UNLV finds a way to go 4-0 to start the season. Miami, Ohio moves to 0-3. This is a scrappy team by Dan Mullen. They just find ways to win, and even when they're making mistakes, early on or even later, closer to the end of the game, they still find a way to, squeak one out. Props to the Rebels for, going on the road, in a tough dogfight and pulling it off. You do have to give Miami, Ohio credit. This was their first home game of the season. Before that was, two Big Ten teams in Rutgers and Wisconsin that gave them beatings. But they came back home looking to get their first win of the season, kept it competitive throughout. They really, fumbled it quite literally towards the end. A couple of picks, just bad football in the fourth quarter that sealed it. I'd still expect them to improve off this game and get some wins later on for sure. 41-38 is your final score there. UNLV over Miami, Ohio.